boys and girls, welcome back to another video. So earlier this week we talked all about lots of different shapes. So first we're going to do a quick review of the shapes that we've already learned. So triangle, square, rectangle, circle, hexagon, and a trapezoid. All these shapes that we've learned about so far are two-dimensional shapes, also called 2D shapes. And that means that all of them are flat. So just like all the ones that I just showed you, all of these shapes are flat. So today we're going to learn about some new shapes, and those are called three-dimensional shapes or 3D shapes. Some of you might know what that means because maybe you've been to a 3D movie before. So a 3D movie is very cool because the pictures look like they're coming off the screen and they're closer to you than they would be if they were a two-dimensional shape. So, some of the 3D shapes we're going to learn about today, you've already learned about last year, so some of it will be a review, and some will be brand new shapes that you've never learned before. So, our first shape that we're going to learn about today is called a sphere. Can you say that with me? Sphere. So an example of a sphere is a ball. See how it has no edges, no lines, it's just a round ball. So another 3D shape we'll learn about today is a cylinder. So an example of a cylinder would be a can of soda. So it has two different edges here, and then all around here is round. So that's a cylinder. Another example of a cylinder is a paper towel roll. So just like the can of soda, we have two edges here, and all of this is round. So the next shape we're going to learn about today is a cone. So I'm sure that you all see traffic cones outside. Those are the orange cones that tell us where we can drive and where to be safe. Another example of a cone is a party hat. And my favorite example of a cone is an ice cream cone. So another shape, 3D shape we're going to learn about today is a cube. So an example of a cube is some dice. Dice are an example of a cube. And another example of a cube could be blocks. So they have all these different sides that look like squares, but when you put them all together, they make a cube. So those are probably all different 3D shapes that you guys learned about last year in kindergarten. But another shape I want to teach you guys about today is called a rectangular prism. Can you guys say that with me? Rectangular prism. So an example of a rectangular prism could be a box of cereal. See, it looks like a rectangle, but it has all these different sides to it that make it a 3D shape. And again, it's called a rectangular prism. And the last shape I want to teach you guys about today is called a pyramid. So the pyramid I have to show you is right at the top of this. See how it looks like a triangle here, but it has all these different sides to it. And when you put them all together, it's called a pyramid. I'm sure you guys have seen pictures of the pyramids that are in Egypt. That's another example of a pyramid. So when we get to class tomorrow, we're going to be sorting all these different shapes, just like we've done sorting before. And the way that we sort shapes is by using their different attributes or their different qualities, and then we can figure out what shapes are which. So the three different attributes that we use when we're sorting shapes are their faces, the edges, and the corners. So the faces are the flat areas on the shape. So just like I showed before on the can of soda, you have one flat edge here, and you have one flat edge here. So when you put them all together, this whole shape together is a cylinder. So we have two circles flat on either end, and all together it makes a cylinder. So the next attribute that we use to sort our shapes is the edges. So the edges are where two different faces meet. So here we have a face, and then here we have another face. So right here would be an edge. We can turn it, and right here we have a face, and then here we have another face. So right here, where the two faces meet, there's an edge. So the last way that we sort shapes is by their corners. So the corners are where the edges meet together. So I'm going to use my pyramid to show you guys. So, it's kind of hard to see. Here's an edge, and then here's another edge, and here's another edge. So where all of these edges come together, right here at the top, we have a corner. So we have our face, and where our two faces meet, we have an edge, and then where the edges all come together, we have a corner. So those are all the different shapes that we're going to learn about in class, and we're going to sort them into their different categories. We'll do a quick review. So some of the new ones that we learned today. So the ball was, again, it was a sphere, and our rectangular prism, that was our cereal box. Remember, it has a rectangular side and another rectangular side, and when you put them together, that makes a rectangular prism. And last one, again, we have our cylinder. So it has our two flat circle shapes, and put together makes a cylinder. So remember, guys, you can always go back and watch this video again if you need to, and if not, then we'll go ahead and sort our shapes when we get to class tomorrow. See you then. Bye.